This video is to show you how to mix and apply the epoxy. This is the epoxy I use. I got it from Hobby Lobby. I forgot exactly how much it was. Oh, $24. So it was $24. About the same if you was to get it off Amazon. It comes in part A, part B. Part A is the thick part. Part B is the more liquidy part, and you can kind of see when you pour that down, you kind of see how easy that pour. And then this is kind of more like syrup. So whenever I mix them, most of the time I put the more liquid part in first and then the thick part on top. I don't have my measuring cups right now, so the next video I do, I'll have some more. I ran out of them yesterday, but they look like this. I only have one left. So I'm just going to mix them in here and hopefully eyeball it and hope for the best. And I'll pour it in here to be able to pour my epoxy. So, like I said, it's A. I'll go ahead and pour just a little bit in there. Not much at all. It doesn't need a lot. I always over pour, but I'm trying to get better, so that should be enough for that one. And I might still have put too much, but it'll be okay. And then you make sure you evenly, well, that's why I like using the cups that have the numbers on them, because you can pour them in there and you can see how you can pour the exact same amount. This one, like I said, I'm eyeballing because I don't have any more cups. So I think that is even. Drop more in here. And they have to be even, because if they're not, it doesn't cure right. So if you do make a cup and you're wondering why it's the next day and your stuff isn't dried or still sticky, more than likely that's the reason. So like I said, I'll pour the more liquid part in first. And I'll put like the thicker part in. And I'll put a link below in the bio description, a more detailed and up close video of me applying epoxy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start applying epoxy. Whenever you do start stirring your epoxy and putting it up there, make sure you kind of go ahead and use it as soon as you get finished stirring, because the longer it sits in here by itself, it starts warming up and getting really hot. And I haven't never got to that point before, but somebody said I've seen people say sometimes that it'll start smoking. I'm gonna start with the front. Now, and you make sure you keep these gloves on, because this stuff is sticky and it gets on your hands. It's horrible to get off. It gets on anything. It's horrible to get off. So I'm going to start by, and you can already tell just from that first pour over, look at it, how them colors come to life with that epoxy. You can already see it, how shiny, how much more shinier it is. So I'm going to go and I'm going to turn this by hand until I get to the point where it's kind of over there, and then I'll start letting it go once I know that it's epoxy on every side, and that way I'm just smoothing it out. But until I get that point, I already didn't put a lot of epoxy in here, but it's more than enough. It doesn't take a lot at all, but I always make too much. So make sure that seal, like where you have it wrapped over, make sure that that seal is down and in place, and you go over that kind of, you know, hard. And once again, like I said, you can tell the difference. You can see from right here and right here, like the difference in like the glossiness. So if you start seeing bubbles on it, like that's coming out of the epoxy, you start seeing that your cup has bubbles on it, That's where your torch or heat gun, whatever you have, comes into play. I have a heat gun, but I see people do it with torches. So now that I made it all the way back around, I want to start spinning. And the spinning, or basically just go ahead and, you could go ahead and start making sure there's epoxy on all sides. Make sure that it's smooth. Make sure that you, and like I said, I got another rotator, well, cup turner coming. This one, I've had it for a long time. It makes a lot of noise, and it's, yeah. And I'll go over it and pop some of these bumps. So what we'll do is, like how this is drying, I'll come back in maybe about 20 minutes. And I'm going to take this. I might can wait for this. But anyway, I'm going to take the tape off of it and then let it finish up like that. Sometimes with these cups, I'll keep it on. It just depends how close I got it to the edge. But I'm probably going to take it off anyway just so it doesn't mess up. And rotate it. It's late, so I'm probably going to let it rotate throughout the night. And it should be like done whenever I wake up tomorrow. So that's the cup, and that's how you make a tumbler.